Welcome to another episode of the Progress Always podcast, where we help our audience prioritize their health and fitness by bringing alignment to their habits and behaviors and eliminate their stress. Mike Anders here with my teammate, my homie. This is a reunion for the two of us. Defensive line coach at Loughborough
There you go.
College in England, Pro Bowl defensive lineman, 12-year career in the NFL, Randy Starks. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, brother? How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
100%, man. It's been a long time coming, man. I ran into your strength coach from Maryland, Corliss. She says what's up, and I was like, I need to ping him, man. He's doing some pretty incredible stuff now that he's transitioned away from the league and he's getting into coaching. I got some questions I want to ask and talk about that transition, because you've had such a prolific career as an athlete, and now that you're on the other side of it as a coach, you know what that transition is like, what that your life as an athlete and your life as a coach, and the differences between the two, and dive into some of the compare and contrast of both those two dynamics. I talk about you a lot. I reference you a lot when I'm talking to young athletes and even my clients and coaches with regards to what talent really looks like. And not that you weren't a hard worker or anything like that, but I remember you being 6'3", 317 in high school, and you could sky and dunk. You know what I'm saying? It was you played on a squad our senior year where 5 dudes went D1. I was the only one the year after you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and when I got to the Air Force Academy, I was like, that I'm in a room full of Randys. You know what I'm saying? And like, what was your experience being a man amongst boys in high school? I mean, was that the reality? Does your perception match that reality as far as like what life was like in high school for you?
Well, in high school, like you said, I was blessed. I had size, I had agility, and so I was just blessed, and I could say that I took that for granted. Okay. I think I could have been the type of person, I could have been the type of person that could have been All-American, did all so many things. I could have set records at the school, football and basketball. Mm-hmm. But I just did just enough to get by, and my size, my talent, it allowed me to do that. So just looking back, I wish I would have strived to be great. That's some of the things I try to tell these young student athletes I'm working with, even my son, like, hey, I've done a lot of good stuff in life. I've done a lot of bad stuff in life, and I'm going to point you in the right direction. And one of the things is don't take this for granted, right? You want to strive for greatness. And so that's one of the main things I tell these guys, right? You try to be detailed in your work. The same thing when I got to the league. You start to realize, like you said, you get to college, it's a lot of guys that's like me. All right, cool. So then I still have talent. My God-blessed ability blessed me to be at a level that was above some of them. So I still had that mentality. I just show up, I do my thing. And then it hit me to where I got to the league. I'm thinking this because I'm drafted, I'm going to play. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm good. And I got a sack the first game against Miami Dolphins. Then the second game, I didn't get a sack. And so it's kind of like, I'm sorry, I didn't even play. I didn't play the second game. I didn't even dress or nothing. Had my family come down. It was a home game. I didn't dress. And so that hit me hard. Like, dang, I ain't dressing. Like, I wasn't on special teams. I thought, like, hey, I'm a draft pick. I don't need to be on special teams. And I realized, like, nah, you have to do as much as you can and show you how valuable you are to the team. So ever since then, I went out there and worked hard, and I made sure I never had that feeling again. Went out there, earned a starting spot, and then my career took off from there. I mean, and I'm in the same boat now as far as trying to coach, right? I'm starting from the bottom, working my way up. I'm trying to do everything I can to learn as much as I can, because playing and coaching is two different fields, and I'm just trying to get acclimated to it.
Yeah. So you didn't run into that brick wall where you ran out of talent and your work ethic had to catch up until you got to the league?
I would say that, but still, I think I was at that point. I went 12 years. Again, I was still lazy. Like, me. Like, I probably didn't start enjoying working out now to where now I don't have to, where I'm older, I'm retired. But I was still lazy. Guys will tell you, like, Man, Starks, man, he probably could have played 20 years. He did everything he's supposed to do, was take care of my body, eat right. That's one thing I wish I would did. I invested more in me, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money to anybody, millionaire, thousandaire. We spend money, waste money here and there. It's kind of like once you invest money into yourself, whether it's business, nutrition, whatever it is. And I wish I would have a lot of things I wish I would have done, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm where I am now because I didn't. And now I can tell the young student athletes, like, hey, this is what you need to do. I'm not telling you, like a lot of stuff I tell you, it's not something that I heard. It's a lot of stuff I'm telling you because I've been through it. I was sitting in that same position.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel for you to be on the other side and taking all those lessons learned and now being able to pay it forward and pour into these young players?
That's crazy, man. I didn't really think I would be a coach.
Really?
I talked to some of the guys, my coaches I had, and a lot of people was like, "Damn, I never seen you be a coach." Like me either. So when I retired, I was like, "Man, I'm not doing nothing. I'm about to kick back, relax. Like I'm on a permanent vacation. End up moving to the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there chilling on the beach, like enjoying myself. And then at some point, I realized this ain't it. Like I gotta do something in my life. I guess the cliche a lot of people say is purpose. And that's the truth. Like you gotta find purpose. Like what do you want to do? And while I was out there, I ended up coaching my son's basketball team out there. So I'm coaching the basketball team. I'm talking about we're trash. Like we're terrible. I think our first game we lost like 60-10. I'm getting just dusted. But over time, I was out there like 2.5 years. Over time, we ended up beating people like 60-10. We started being good. And I think at the whole, we ended up starting a league out there. And out of the whole league, we ended up being like the third. It was always this one team that we couldn't beat. They were real disciplined. The Santiago Christian School. We couldn't beat them. But for the most part, man, we started going around dusting people off. And that's when I realized coaching is my thing. Like, I really want to do this. Like, life's lessons. And I guess in a sense, it kind of helps you being away from the locker room. Because that's one thing a lot of people say, what do you miss about sport? What do you miss about playing NFL, man? One thing everybody will tell you is in common, the locker room. And so I scratched that little itch I had as far as being around sports. And COVID hit. I was coming back to school to finish my degree. COVID hit. And Mike Loxley, he was my recruiting coordinator. He recruited me coming out of high school. And he ended up being the head coach there. He said he had a gig for me up there, but I ain't have my bachelor's degree. So that's when during COVID, I ended up doing everything online, got my bachelor's. After I did that, ended up going to Georgetown University, ended up getting my master's in sports industry management. And so I was doing that. I've been coaching high school. I coached at a Division III school, LaGrange College. So for the most part, I've just been stacking up my years in coaching and just wait for that opportunity.
That's awesome, man. My dad always told, I don't know if you remember my pop or not, but my dad always told me if the opportunity came and, and I got the opportunity to go pro early, take the money, you can always come back to school.
That was the thing. Like my mom, she wanted me, my dad, everybody, man, you need to stay in graduate. My whole thing is you can go to school when you're 70 years old. You can't play ball when you're 70. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's always going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the reality of your situation, you went back to school because your talent, your reputation, your history as a high level athlete doesn't open any doors in the NCAA for you. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it can't. Like the coach, college, the collegiate level, you have to have a bachelor's degree. Like I always told myself, I'm not going back to school. Like, a lot of stuff I said I wouldn't do. I'm not going back to school. Like, you know me now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I never get by. Like, man, I stayed in school long enough. I'm not going back. But nah, so good. Get my degree, you know what I'm saying? Got my diplomas up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I never go. I had to. That's something that, I guess being in the real world is kind of like one of those things. Like, yeah, that paper matters somewhere. And it matters there.
Was there what was your reality check? Like, was there a moment in the pros where like, oh shit, like I need to be an adult or were you always like in this juvenile state of mind as an athlete, and then it wasn't until the NFL was over that you were like, oh shit, maybe it's time to grow up and do some adult things now?
I think probably when I retired, I was
Okay.
still moving fast. I always tell people, hey, maybe if I was married, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of sit still a little bit. But I wasn't, so I was just, living life, traveling, just enjoying life, young.
Yeah.
I'm still in my late 20s, early 30s. Like I didn't retire till I was 32. So I was
Mm-hmm.
still young, just enjoying life. And once you, like they say, once you're done and you have nothing to, I guess, to provide, or nothing for nobody to mooch off of, or nothing for anybody to feed off of, everybody kind of slowly just start fading away. So once that start happening, you start checking yourself. Because at the end of the day, even when I go somewhere to this day, I don't tell people I used to play in the NFL, because I want you to see me as Randy Starks. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's what I did before, but I want you to see me who I am now. Like, don't treat me
Yeah.
different because of what I did before. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how it was. And I had to grow up. I had to get my degree. I had to work. I had to go out. And one thing about my jobs, I can honestly say, I didn't get these coaching gigs because somebody knew somebody. I can honestly say, like my David told me, like, at the end of the day, doesn't matter where it is, you did that. Like I had to go out there. I had to go online, fill out all these applications. I had to go out there and interview. I had to go put the suits on. I had to do that. Not just, hey, you Randy Stars, you used to play for Miami Dolphins, you took it on Pro Bowl. Come on. Like, no, I had to interview as if you didn't know me. And so it felt good to learn that I could actually do that on my own.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, these experiences that you're having later in life are most people's realities at 18, 19, 22 years old. And but what it doesn't sound like is you had like that horror story retirement where the game was over and you were out of resources. It sounded like you at least did something right by your career to set you up for the success you're having now after football.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like that first year, I really didn't want to watch football. I don't know if I was oppressed or what, but I would say that you just missed it. Like you go my whole life, from all the way from high school all the way to 12 years NFL, everything's structured. You pretty much
Mhm.
tell me what you do, what's your schedule, when you got to report, everything was structured. And now I'm going with no structure. Like it's easy. I can see how people easily like just go downhill. You have no structure.
Mhm.
People tell you what to do, when to eat, when meeting time. Like you have a game this way, we leave on this day. Like you go tonight, do what you want to do. Yeah, I'm about to relax. It sounds good, but no. And I know at the end of the day, I need that structure. What if me going back to school? I got this paper due. You know what I'm saying? Start
Mhm.
coaching. Hey, I gotta make sure I set this meeting time. I gotta do all these little things. And I think that's one thing coaching is doing for me, is keeping me busy.
Mhm.
You gotta stay busy.
What do you spend a lot of time uh preaching's the wrong word, but when you pour into these kids, are you making sure that it's beyond football? Like, hey, at some point, the reality of this situation is the game is going to end, and you need to be prepared for that eventuality. How do you having taken the game so far in your own life, how do you have that conversation with somebody who aspires to do what you did and not like take the wind out of their sails doing it?
Well, one of the things I tell them is, like I said earlier, don't take things for granted. You got to be dedicated. Like success calls, right? Doesn't matter if you're an athlete, no matter if you're in the corporate world, success calls. And so I asked them, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like a lot, I heard this, I forgot where I heard it from, but it's like you don't go around wishing you had what somebody else have, because you don't know what they had to do to get that, right? And so when I'm saying that, it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice? And I'm not, I probably have one or two cousins I'm real cool with, but at the end of the day, it's like I had to miss birthdays I miss holidays, right? I had close friends that over time, because I'm focused on getting to a goal, they fell off, right? That's just what it happens. Like, Frank, we don't talk like that every day, but he's still my closest friend to this day because he had a goal in mind what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a pilot. That's his goal. He understands what we're doing. He know I'm not changing because at the end of the day, he knows he has a goal as well. So when you have somebody in your circle that knows what they're trying to do, have goals set, everybody gets you. They understand you. And that just happens. And so you just have to be focused. What are you willing to sacrifice? It's going to cost you sleep. Like, that's success cost. What are you willing to sacrifice, right? That's what it comes down to. Just like you can go down a list of all the things, all the sacrifice you had to make to get to where you are. That's just what it is. You're going to take some L's on the way. You know what I'm saying? But in the day, what are you willing to sacrifice? And you got to keep going. And NFL is not in the car for everybody. And when I talk to these student athletes, one thing I tell them is like, what's your plan? I don't even tell them plan B because everybody asked me, what was your plan B? I said, I had no plan B. My plan A was to get to the NFL. That's it. And by me trying to get to the NFL, and if I didn't make it, I know that would have opened other doors for me, whether it was I had to stay eligible. So by me staying eligible, I would have graduated. All right, now it would open up an option for plan B. But my focus and energy was getting to where I'm going. And by talking to these student athletes, it's kind of like I say it over and over. I did a lot of good things, and I did a lot of bad. Some of the stuff you're probably going to go through and see, I probably already went through it. Like, I'm telling you where to go. And this is not even just on the football field. This is just in life in general. You know what I mean? Like, everything I tell them, I don't just talk just football. I'll sit down there and talk to them, whether they have to do with girls, family, whatever. Like, just talk. Like, yeah. I'm pretty sure whatever you're going through, I went through that same road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How did you manage that lottery ticket that is getting drafted and that influx of money so early?
I had a good supporting cast, my mother, my father. Because at the end of the day, it's not like I was getting out the mud. Let's just be real. We wasn't getting out the mud, right? So, yeah, did I spend stuff I shouldn't have spent it on? Of course, that's what anybody do, especially young. I was 20 years old. I wasn't even old enough to drink. Of course, I just did some spending. But at the end of the day, I had a good supporting cast. I didn't have family members that needed a lot. And so I was able to, and they kind of kept people at a distance to make sure you couldn't just get to me. Because, a lot of times you want to say yes. You know what I mean? You want to help people. And one thing I remember, rookie symposium we went to, Mark Robb, I think he's still coaching now. One thing he said was everybody was not waiting on you to make it to survive. Like, everybody was doing just fine before you made it. And when the time comes, all of a sudden people can't pay their bills, they can't pay their car, or they can't. All of a sudden, everybody can't do that. But you was doing it the whole time until you got drafted. But all of a sudden now, hey man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, keep doing what you've been doing, type of thing. So
yeah,
I just had a lot of good people in my circle. Had older guys I used to play with. Just I took some advice.
Where did that humility come from? Because there's a lot of guys in that were in that same rookie symposium that didn't take that advice and that didn't have that. Even if they did have that good counsel in their ear telling them what to do and what not to do, you know what I'm saying? They're not humble enough to think to take it.
I'll tell you this, how I was thinking at a young age. If I would have got drafted to Miami instead of Tennessee, I could have seen myself being in that same situation. Nashville was still on the rise. It wasn't where it is now. It's kind of like slowed down. I had to leave to go do all that stuff. You know what I mean? So you got to go back and forth. I think the most we used to do was, at the time, limo. I don't think people ride limos anymore. We used to take a limo. Like, we had a Victory Monday, right? You come on Monday, off Tuesday. They give you Victory Monday. We ain't got to go to the facility till Wednesday. We get a limo and go down to Atlanta, go down there for a night. You know what I'm saying? So that was our thing versus being in a place like that, and you got Magic City Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. And I had a lot of OGs around me, so I kind of just follow their lead. I kind of shut up. Like, I'm not too loud of a person, so I'm kind of quiet, and I just follow everybody's lead. And thankfully, when I got to Tennessee, a lot of older guys there. Ainsworth, Keith Bullock, Samari Rowe, when they were still there, they moved differently. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just watched them versus being on a young team, be in the streets all night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Does your willingness to take guidance come from your dad being military? I know your mom was a hard ass. I remember her.
Everybody know that.
Does a lot of your willingness to take good advice, recognize good advice, come from your mom and dad?
To be honest, I didn't really take advice like that. You know, now that I'm older, I understand why my father was the way he was, my mother, especially my father, because sometimes I don't know how it is your household or growing up. Sometimes your parents might act like they can do no wrong, like they know everything. But when you get older, you realize like they seen it or it happened to them. They're trying to stop you from going that route. So my whole thing, man, you don't know like that. Oh, you a cornball. You get older, like, nah, my dad ain't cornball. He's just like you. He's just, you know what I mean? He ain't want you to go down that same path. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I didn't really take advice like that. That's one thing about coaching these student athletes. I try not to come off like that. I try to let them know you can talk to me about anything. And for the most part, I'm just like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just old. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. When you transitioned, when you retired, there was how many years was it before you got back into coaching?
I started coaching the basketball team probably within like 6 months to a year.
Okay.
It's more of a recreational thing. It probably hit hard after a year. Like, I'm going around getting real teams. Like, we actually playing leagues. I did a foundation. I had a tournament there. So I say probably a year when I was really into coaching. Like, I'm in that type of thing.
Did you have any semblance of like an identity crisis? Like I've been Randy the football player for 32 years. And now, like, did you have to reconcile the question, like, who am I now?
Yeah, a little bit, because, you know, everybody want to talk football. You know, everybody want to talk this and that. You know, you probably go through it. Like, you out in public, you want to be a known person. Everybody want to talk about fitness stuff. Like, nah, I am not trying to talk about that. Same thing. I'm not trying to talk about football all the time. Like,
right.
I just want to stay in the moment I'm doing now. But you also have to embrace that. So, that's just what it was. I mean, I try to find out who I am. I had to find out who I am as a coach, like what angle I'm going to go to, because what worked with me, Coach MF and me and all that stuff, that worked for me. That's not going to work for every student athlete I'm working with. I needed that. Some of the kids don't need that. You know what I'm saying? They know it's okay, Tommy. You know, it's going to be okay. Like, some need that.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me it's not going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're different world now. You know what I mean? Like, the way we was being brought up, the way we were coached, you can't come with these kids like that right now.
Yeah. So you're saying that the stuff that we did at Westlake, you can't do that now?
Nah, you can't do that. Cops coming out, parent protesting, they shutting down the program. Like, nah, you know that. Nah. Real two-a-days, nah.
Really? I mean, like, I'm out in, I live in Arizona now, so I mean, like, the heat is unreal, so there's all kinds of precautions around that kind of stuff. But, you know, be it back east and in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, I remember showing up with Gail to the off season when we moved to Waldorf.
Yeah, I remember y'all. Yeah.
And like, I was just so impressed with the system we had. Like, I showed up, and my sophomore year at Westlake was my third year in the game, period. And just walking into that system, and like, you guys had known each other since pound ball, and it's like, oh my God, you guys have been running the same shit since you were 5. It was like by the time we got to the season, it was just such a well-oiled machine.
And I think when you came there too, didn't we go to camp? Camp, yeah, like that's what we did. Like, it's a brotherhood. We do everything together. Before you know it, we all ride bikes. We're just together. That's all you know. Same thing in college. Your peers is your teammates. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you noticed that? Because you spend a little time south of college, with little leagues and high schools and whatnot. Have you found that it's different? The athletic culture is different now from a multi-sport perspective. Like when we were at Westlake, once we got done playing ball, the best athletes on the football team went and played basketball, wrestled, ran track, and the best athletes out of the winter sports went and did spring sports. And it was celebrated that we're going to share all this talent and we're going to win across the board. And what I'm noticing since I've been in coaching is it is not like that anymore. It is like, these are football players. Those are football athletes. And that is it. I don't want you playing basketball. I don't want you wrestling. I don't want you running track. You're in the weight room, and we're going to take care of that. We're going to let that take care of bigger, faster, stronger. And they're specializing so early now. Is that what you're noticing now too?
I had that problem. I took the head coach job first year at Manassas Park, and I bumped head with the head basketball coach because he's no longer there, but because he didn't let his best athletes, the best players in the school, it's a small school now, the best athletes, he wouldn't let them play football because they got hurt. And it's kind of like, yo, I can use these guys. And it's kind of like, these guys, now I'm going to go play college ball. And it's like, yo, a lot of y'all don't know, I was a better football player in a better basketball player in high school than I was football. I struggle to get looks at freaking for basketball. I know you're not gonna get a look. You're not even tall as me. You can't handle a ball. You're built like a football player. You need to come play football. Basketball. I'm just like, yo, y'all don't get it. It's like you train your body, you train your muscle to do so many different things. Like, I'm a big believer of, like, go play football, go play basketball, go play soccer, do it all. Because in the end of the day, it's an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, play everything. That's my whole thing, man. Go be great.
Yeah. Let the sport pick you. Yeah.
But they just want to stick with one thing. Like, some guys, I get it. Maybe you can't jump, you can't shoot, stuff like that. But dude, if you can do it all, do it all. Like, I thought I was going to the NBA. Nah, you go, football is your ticket. I remember Coach Lane told me, like, what you think, you're gonna be 6'10"? You're a football player that happens to play basketball. And sure enough, football's my ticket. Tell me I wasn't going to go play in the NBA. What? No.
Wow. That's funny, man. It's interesting because, and I want to come back to the value of your supporting cast. Was it hard for you to take, your A1 since day one, and like, did you resist them falling off and try to keep them aboard, or were you just real quick to cut ties and move on?
You kind of let things just play out. Certain stuff will start to show itself. You just let things go, and you'll start to see as you're going certain heights, certain levels. You'll start seeing whether I'm trying to pick them up, I'm trying to drag them, I'm trying to help them do better. They don't want that. It's kind of, I gotta go. Like, and that's how a lot of guys get caught up. You see a lot of guys get in trouble. They stick down here trying to pick them up. Now you down here, and you're getting into something that you shouldn't have. And I think that happened with me early in my career. And you just learn, right? Just elevate. And I learned at a later time, which I learned earlier. It's kind of like you don't want to be the smartest one in the room. You don't want to be the most successful one in the room, right? Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna learn anything. Like that's the cap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you want to be around people that's doing better, got knowledge that you can get from them, like certain stuff like that. And so even now to this day, I try to be more social and try to put myself in a position to be around successful people to learn, especially
Mhm.
for the game, you know?
Yeah. Was that also a hard lesson for you to learn? Like, I if if I'm the biggest, the fastest, strongest, the smartest, the most of whatever in the room, and for no fault of your own, just based on your God-given ability, a lot of the time that was the case just by happenstance. When did that switch get turned on for you? Like, oh, I need to be somewhere else.
Toward the end of my career, like I said, a lot of stuff, I would do a lot of things differently. But at the end of the day, I think that's what made me who I am. And
Mhm.
teach a lesson and show these guys, my son, show everybody like this is the way to go. Like surround yourself with good people. I even tell my son, he might say, "Oh, this guy's kind of weird." And I'm like, hey, he might be a guy you might need about 10, 15 years down the line. He got his own business. He might be pulling you along. Don't count him out yet. So it's little
Mhm.
stuff like that. And um, I wish I used my status as a football player more. It could have put me in a better position, maybe with coaching in the corporate world. But I'm so antisocial. I'm starting to learn to get out that shell. Like, get out and talk. Like, if you know me, yeah, I'm talking, I'm a clown, whatever. But as I'm getting to know somebody or I'm first meeting somebody, I'm very quiet. People tell me all the time, like, you don't talk much. I don't know you like that. Like, what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm learning to do that. That's why I try to like. It's hard for me to talk in front of a big crowd, but I do it more to learn how to talk and be more open. Like,
Yeah.
I don't do much of this, but I'm starting to do a little bit more,
Mhm.
talking, speaking, interviews, stuff like that. That's just not me, but I'm learning. I'm learning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've got a really solid message, man, and I think that specifically for that crowd of top tier athletes that just kind of have the blinders on because they get the special treatment. Nobody, they don't have the same consequences to their behavior because their talent keeps them out of trouble, right? So you have a very unique perspective that the average Joes, the parents that are living vicariously, or the coaches that want to bring the greatness out of them, that don't have, because you've been in those shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's admirable that you're taking a different path to success, and you're choosing a tougher route because you do have clout, you do have resources, you do have connections where if you wanted to, you could walk into one of those offices and be on the sidelines in at a big five school, or in the NFL. You could totally pull the trigger and make that happen. But the fact that you're willing to take a step back and earn your stripes and take the longer road is going to better prepare you and also give you an opportunity to impact more people, right?
Mhm.
So I commend you for it, because that is not a choice that a lot of people in your position would make.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just over the year I've learned like Randy Stark's a football player. I don't have to say much, right? Just know who I am. Hey, come on in here, get in. You know what I'm saying? On me, on the house. Now I'm not that person. Now how I'm gonna get that same treatment? How I'm gonna get myself in the room? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You gotta talk. Everybody gotta get to know me now. Not Randy the football player anymore. It's Randy Stark. Who are you now?
Mhm.
That's one of the things I'm gonna continue to work on.
How long did the I'm genuinely curious. How long did the football player stigma last after you retired before you had to start introducing yourself?
I say about 2, 3 years.
Mhm.
Still fresh. I was Dolphin for a long time, so I was still in Miami. Randy
Uh-huh.
Stark, yeah, I remember over time, like the staff not there, everybody's gone. Like the times change.
Yeah.
What, 7 years now? Like It's new turnover. It's new 94. There's new people around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly that big on social media. I'm trying to get out there, but for the most part, I'm just quiet. So I'm learning to try to get back out there, start talking, show your face more.
Mm-hmm.
I start going to University of Maryland more. We start showing up for games. Like, hold on, y'all forgot about your boy. Like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm gonna fall off the map. Nah. Let's get back on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's it like to go back? I missed my 20 year. I haven't been back to Waldorf since I was stationed at Quantico with the Marine Corps. What's it like for you to go back to where we came from? Is it like I need to make this trip as short as possible, or like what?
It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you've been? You ever been?
2015.
So you probably know that it's PG County now. It's Prince George County. Driving around like, all these cop cars with everybody got dreads. You know, our football team, we probably have about 10 black people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 50-50. Man, I ain't see one white person on the team with the coach. That's it. That's it. Like, I'm just like, this is not the same school. Like, it's totally different. Like,
wow.
Whole thing, they built it up though. I remember we used to ride our bikes through the pass, walk through the pass. No, they tore that down. They built all that up. So it's a big difference. They built it up, but at the end of the day, they ain't the same people that living around there. That's for sure.
Okay. So it's not like you go back to Waldorf and you run into the same people doing the same thing.
Nah.
Everybody's bugged out.
No, but a couple people we might know. They doing their own thing. They probably don't even live in Waldorf. They might move down further up north or something like that.
Yeah.
But a couple people still live there. But ain't nothing really going on. Most people that's there, they probably don't work there. They probably moved out. Commute out. They come back in. They probably stay for their families because their family's close or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't run into people. I might run into one or two coaches, something like that. But
yep.
This is a different crowd.
I got you. Yeah. My the guidance we were always given, and we were military brats too. So, my dad was always like, but my folks were always like, you can ain't no reason to come back to where you came from, man. Because to your point, it's gonna be different. And if you're expecting it to be the same, like that's a pipe dream.
I talk to my student athletes. I was like, I go to these small places. I'm like, man, end of the day, the goal is to get out of here. Like, even I was in Manassas Park, the goal is to get out of here. There's so much more to the world, so much to the state. There's so much to this country. Like, it's so much to see. Just get out here. Then, if you want to come back, but don't stuck here. Don't be here because you have to be here. Come back here because you want to.
Yeah.
So experience life. Go to college. Like, my whole thing is go to college. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gotta be a big college, but go somewhere.
Yeah.
Meet new people, new scenery, stuff like that. That's one thing I would tell. I still tell them to this day, like, get out, go somewhere. If you want to come back, but at least go to see what it's like, to see if you want to come back.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. So to that end, why'd you pick Maryland?
Couple reasons. First of all, I tell people all the time, my mom I get 5 visits. My mom told me I only could do 3. I was like, yeah, because I had Arizona State already booked for one of the places to go to. Like, nah, I'm not driving out there. I'm not flying way out there. I'm thinking to myself, nobody said you have to go out there anyway. But so I had Maryland, I had Penn State, because at that time, all the
Coach
East
Johnson.
Coast, that was pretty much Coach Johnson. That was pretty much the school to go to. That was like the best school that was near. And then Syracuse, because I thought I was going to be a football and a basketball player in college. And at the time, Syracuse was good at both.
Right.
When Nav just left, basketball team was legit.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my 3. And so at the time, I didn't know what I was looking for in the school. You know what I'm saying? Maryland was close. I know I wanted to play right away. I knew Maryland, I was going to play right away. Like, there was nothing on the roster. I was the top player in the state. Like, y'all had nothing coming through here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, I go to Maryland. Penn State, I know I'm a red shirt, but I know I'm getting probably the best defensive line coach in the game.
Yep.
And Syracuse, but out the school. Everybody knows Syracuse is the school I wanted to go to. Even my suit on my signing day was black with orange pinstripes. So Syracuse is my spot. All they had to do was show me a good time. I ain't have to get drunk. I ain't have to party. All you gotta do is just don't drop the ball. So, in my visit, I think I had Maryland, probably Penn State, and Syracuse. I think Syracuse left. I know Maryland's the first one, so I went to Maryland. Chris Jenkins, you know what I'm saying, all-pro D-tackle. He's my host. Showed me a great time. And one thing I loved about Maryland was, I wouldn't think about this time until afterwards when I went to all three schools, was everybody was tight. White, black, freshman, senior, everybody was tight. I could just feel it. Everybody did everything together. It was one clip. I was like, damn, I like this. This is a family environment. Like, they sorry at the time, like, they ain't go to no bowl game, but my whole thing was like, this is like a family. Like, this is a brotherhood. I feel it. Went to Penn State, had a good time. I kicked it with Larry Johnson. He was my host. Showed me around, went to a big old warehouse party. Like, it was cool. Like, I had nothing bad to say about it. Went to Syracuse. Forgot his name. The one that caught the touchdown pass in the Super Bowl, the Giant, on his head against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tyrese, something like that. I forget his name. He was my host. Shouldn't even put him on blast, but whatever. So he was my host. So going out, having a good time. By the way, at the time, they had some beautiful women there. Like, I was feeling this, my sisters out there. I was feeling it. Had apartments. You know what I'm saying? It was dope.
Yeah.
So went to the bar. He gave me the ID. The picture was faded. He was like, yeah, use this to get in. I'm thinking you got clout. Like, I ain't have to do all this at other school, but all right, this is the way y'all get in here, cool.
Okay.
Bam. Gave him the ID. He looked at the ID, looked at me. He was like, when you was born. I was like, first time I've done this, I didn't even think to look at the date, nothing. 19. I'm like, dang. Like, everybody going in. He's like, yo, y'all try again. So I'm looking. Gave it to him again. Kind of looked at me like, then you were here. And he told the other guy, hey, don't let him in. So everybody went in, and I'm outside, and it was snow. And I'm just sitting there waiting. Everybody went in. So then no cell phones. I'm walking up and down the strip looking for a payphone. Couldn't call my mom. Called somebody to come get me. I finally came back. I see one of them outside looking for me. Just like an hour, maybe 2 hours. I came back. They took me to the kicker's house. I sat there and watched South Park with him and everything for the rest of the night. And yeah, y'all dropped the ball on that one.
Syracuse dropped the ball on Randy Starks. Oh, man.
That's cool. All I ain't have to do nothing. I ain't have to take alcohol. I ain't have to party. All you had to do is just don't drop the ball. But going through that, I realized was like a family environment. And I think that's what drove me to go to Maryland. It was the family environment. I could feel the closeness with the team. You know, it had nothing to do with the party, nothing like that. I could just tell everybody was close. Everybody was just vibing with each other.
Yeah.
And that was my decision. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that, but just going to those three schools, that stuck out to me.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So it sounds like one of your what I'm picking up from you is that family is big on your value tree.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like some of my things I talk about when I'm coaching is family, respect, accountability, discipline, and sacrifice. And family is number one, because at the end of the day, especially in sports, team sport, you're gonna spend a lot more time with your teammates than you do your own siblings, your parents. Like, that's who you're around 24/7 for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You go home, hi mom, hi dad, you get something to eat, you going to sleep, you go to school, you around the same people again. You go to college, same thing. You go to your classes, boom, boom, boom. By 2:00, you with the football team for the rest of the day. Got study hall with them. That's just what it is. NFL, I'm getting there at freaking 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't go home until about 5 or 6. I'm with them. The whole time I'm with them. I go home, see my son, whoever, by 8 o'clock, everybody sleep. 9, 10 o'clock, I'm sleep. I'm going to do it again. By the time I wake up, I'm going to work. Like, that's just what it is. And you have to be close. You got to be able to trust each other. You got to be fool each other. End of the day, it's kind of like your sibling, right? You might not be tight with your brother or your sister, but if anything pop off, right, you got their back. It's the same thing on the team. Like, we might not hang out like that outside of the facility, but best believe I got your back. It's something. If I got to choose between a civilian and you, I'm choosing you. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, no question to ask. That's just what it is. You know.
I try to tell people, man. You know, it's the way we talk about ball and the way we talk about our experience as veterans. It's a lot of the same, man. It's a lot of the same. I mean, I just listened to the way you just told that story. If I got to choose between you and a civilian, like that's how we talk as Marines. You know what I'm saying? And it's us against the world, man. You know, and like I think that's something that, you know, you talk about missing the locker room, and I think that's something that as you step into coaching and starting to move into some entrepreneurial ventures, you know, that's something that you're going to want to latch onto is how do I get in the room? How do I get into a room and surround myself with people who think like me? Because my lens of the world and my expectation of excellence is different because I've seen what excellence looks like. I know what it takes to be excellent. I know what is required to live life at the highest level. And how do I surround myself with the people that are doing that in this season of my life? Right. And that's extremely challenging. That can be extremely challenging if you're not proactively searching for it. Because, you know, whether it's the military or sports, those environments, those cultures are built in. Right. And when you leave the uniform on either side, veteran or athletics, now you have to go find that. Right. So it's really important. And social media has really changed the game in that regard, because now you can get there a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to settle for what's within arm's reach. You can, you know, just like we reconnected, man. Hey man, how you doing? Let's do this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to manage that. But you know, to your point about putting yourself out there and singing your song and spreading your message, like people need to hear this shit because it's highly understated. And if you leave it to the ESPNs of the world to curate the message, it gets diluted. Right. The experience, the ins and outs, the pitfalls, the lessons learned. Like newscasters aren't talking about that stuff. And at the same time, in a 5-second soundbite, you're not going to get the opportunity to do that either.
I think in a way that's why I like coaching, because it's a chance to tell my story. You know what I'm saying? That's my purpose. Like that's my way of putting these student athletes on the right path, telling them what it's like, and at the same time getting my little itch scratch, right? The feeling of the locker room, feeling being around a family environment. Because for all these years, my family was my football team. That was my family. That's what I seen these guys more than I seen my own blood. You know, that's it. And I miss that, and I think coaching puts me the closest I can get. I can't play anymore. I think coaching puts me in that position. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this: you refer to them as student athletes. Do you feel like at the NCAA level, your aspirations as a student was stunted by virtue of your obligations to football? Like, were there things that you might have done academically or certain interests as far as classes and stuff like that were eliminated because of football?
Well, going back, first of all, I did family science. That was my major. And people say, you can do with that. That's a football major. That's probably one of the majors that a lot of guys did. They knew the professor. They could point you in the right direction to, of course, I'd be a school teacher, do social work, but they point me in the right direction to be successful in the classroom. if all the NIL deal was going on, I probably would have stayed in school, right? I probably wouldn't have left. Like, there was no need to chase that money, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, like I tell my student athletes, like, when you're trying to pick a degree, when you're trying to pick something that you're interested in, right? And don't chase the money. Again, another cliche, like this, I'm saying, everybody always say, but no, it's the truth, because you pick something you're interested in, it's going to keep your focus. Now, once you nail that, now you can start branching out and figure out, all right, now how can I make a profit off this? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to major in business. Like, business for what? You can learn business being an entrepreneur, like business any other way. Like, why business? What's your reason doing business? You know what I'm saying? You can manage, I don't know, finance and learn business. Like, I did sports management, sports industry management, and I learned business in that. It's not a business degree, but I learned business doing that. Only thing I learned it from a sports perspective, sports angle. So all the stuff I go NBA, the same class, the same stuff they learn, I learned that stuff just in sports. And being in that class, I pretty much finessed that class. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm into sports. Sports is what I want to do. You know, I thought about being an agent. I thought about doing a lot of things. Thought about being trying to be a general manager or something like that. Something that's that. But I just wanted to learn the business, and it was easy for me. You know, like, I'm getting A's. Like, I never got A's, B's. You know what I'm saying? I'm C minus. I'm holding on. I made it. I just flew right through that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something I was interested in. And that's one thing I try to tell my student athletes, like, yo, pick something that you're interested in. Don't chase the money. Once you pick something you're interested in, then you can start looking at how to benefit from it.
That is, I've never heard that out loud. And
well,
I think
the stuff we hear all the time, right? People always say this stuff, but I'm not telling you what somebody told me. Yeah, I heard it. I'm telling you why, because I experienced it. I went through it. Like I tell my student athlete, I'm not just bumping my gums. I'm telling you stuff that I've been through. I'm telling you stuff I've seen. I'm telling you stuff I've done. Like, I touch it. Like, it's me. I'm telling you. I'm not just telling you I read from a book.
Right,
You know?
right. You should write a book, man.
Thought about that too, but you know, dirty laundry might start coming out there. I don't know.
I'm gonna put you in touch with Susan Sember. She's got a publishing agency, and she works specifically with athletes on life after sport.
Hey,
She's awesome. It was interesting because she's on the national circuit right now with her documentary called Beyond the Game. You remember the 30 for 30 on ESPN broke?
I've been hearing it, but I can't remember. It might have been 30 for 30.
Okay, so hers is the opposite. So she interviewed a bunch of athletes, the Magic Johnsons, the Charles Barkleys, the cats that did right by their money after sports was over.
So who did she do hers on? Because I've heard that before.
Yeah. So the documentary is called Beyond the Game, and through some networking, we were introduced to each other and talking about this whole athlete veteran narrative in terms of, like, what happens when it's all over? What do you do now? I was also featured in that documentary, and it was really interesting how parallel the identity issues that come with being a military veteran and being an ex-athlete are. And having walked in both those shoes, it was just a really interesting perspective. But now she's evolved from cinematography and documentaries to publishing and telling athlete stories and using that vehicle to get your story out there too. So I'll make sure you guys get connected. She's awesome.
Yeah, because it's very similar. That's why they always have they have veterans come in. Have the Navy SEALs. Like, we had different SWAT teams. Like, there's always different people that come speak on my career. Different groups of people that come, and that's why, because it's so similar. You know what I mean? Whether working with a team, you got to trust the guy next to you. So many things. Line, you know what I mean? Of course, life and death is kind of different on the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I trust you.
But it's real, man. I mean, the level of training, the level of commitment, the sacrifice, all of those things, those elements exist in both those specialties, man. So it's a lot different, but it's a lot the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can we go find you in this season of your life, man? Where can my audience come support what you got going on at Loughborough?
I mean, you come in Loughborough anytime,
I'm coming to England, man. I want to come. I want to speak some life into your boys.
I'm definitely gonna set that up. Trust me, believe that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out there at the Loughborough University. We played IMG, I think October 4th, and then we got another school on the 10th.
Okay.
Powerhouse schools, obviously.
Yeah.
They're coming out there to play. So yeah, I'm gonna be out there trying to get my D-line together, learn as much as I can, coaching. Hopefully catch another gig back here in the States, man. That's my whole thing.
Okay. Hell yeah, man. Well, hey, I appreciate everything. I appreciate this conversation. I'm really I'm grateful to reconnect and share and use this platform to share your story, man. I think you got a lot of value for our audience, and just the life that you've led is an incredible one. And now you're taking all those gifts that were bestowed upon you and pouring that into the next generation. And, more people need to do that. That's how leadership becomes exponential, man. So I appreciate everything that you bring to the table. Thanks for making the time. It's late. I know, the audience doesn't know what time it is, but hey, man, we're making it happen.
Yeah, we can talk for another hour. You know what I'm saying?
I know it, man. I know it.
Yeah, check me out. You follow me on IG. You know what I'm saying? Stizzy94. That's pretty much all I use. Coach Starks on Twitter.
Okay. We'll make it happen, man. And now you got the whole next level community behind you and rooting for you, brother. So yeah, man, for sure. Thanks for taking the time, dude.
For anytime.
Yeah. For everybody out there, progress always.
Always. Later.